Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Currently it is Sunday and let's get right into the charts as Bitcoin is having a weekend pump to the upside. You can see right here basically we did finally manage to reclaim this value area low level right here. As you can see, after rejecting 2 times, Bitcoin finally on the third time managed to flip this level as support once again, and we got accepted back again into that range right here. As you can see, since right now if we set a horizontal line, basically you can see right here price is well above that value area low right here. You can see after getting rejected right now Bitcoin flipped it as support and price is pushing towards that second weekly pivot resistance, which is sitting currently at 120k, which is above the value area high, or basically just at this level right here, since there are previous highs above our value area high, you can see basically. And in my opinion, next week or maybe in a couple of hours, in the next 24 hours, Bitcoin will have that 1.25% pump to the upside, which would basically take us up to that 120k level, which is also perfectly correlating with that liquidity sitting at the top. You can see right here, this is just going to be taken out in a matter of hours, in my opinion, since the CME future markets, they do open in a couple of hours. If we look at the CME future markets, they open in about 7 hours and 22 minutes basically. So I am expecting for Bitcoin to basically open bullish once again, since Ethereum is also very bullish, very strong momentum. You can see RSI after perfectly bouncing from our 30 line right here, and is currently right now, we can say it is actually a bit overbought on the 4 hourly, on the 2 hourly as well, but on the 2 hourly we did get a nice correction for our RSI momentum to cool off. So basically momentum is still sitting strong right now. I am not paying much attention of the indicator like RSI for it, since as you know this is just a momentum indicator, and in a very bullish market it can stay overbought for a couple of days while price just continues to push higher. So in my opinion right now it is not the time to panic, even though our RSI momentum is getting overbought. On the daily we are still far away from overbought, and on the weekly we are not yet touching that line right here. So we need to get, for example, like this high right here, we need to get above this line for us to consider Ethereum to be topping, basically being overbought. So for now we do still have plenty of momentum left. On the monthly we are also looking pretty nice, very bullish. This might be the final breakout where it will finally fly to the upside, because you can see the previous high that we made right here back in 2021, the last bull run, is just a couple of percent away, basically 15.5%. We are going to be hitting that all-time high, in my opinion, in the coming weeks potentially, since momentum is being very strong. We managed to break out of this resistance right here. You can see right here on the monthly and on the weekly. So if Ethereum manages to close above this very key resistance and maybe do something like this, then a test, then we will see that exponential move to the upside basically. So still market is looking pretty bullish. Not a good time to sell or take a shorts, in my opinion. You just wanna look for those retracements and buy the retracements like the ones that we had here and here. Basically in a strong bullish market like this, you don't wanna be on the short side. As you know, we wanna see a change of structure on the higher time frame for Bitcoin to consider shorting this market. As you know, and also we want to see a correction of the stock market to consider shorting. But as of right now, the stock market is doing pretty well, recovering from this bearish week that we've had right here. So in my opinion, everything is still looking pretty nice. Solana almost pushing that value area high, currently getting rejected. If we go on a lower time frame from the first weekly pivot resistance, you can see basically, which also correlates with that value area high. So Solana is still struggling, but in my opinion, we want to see a further drop in that Bitcoin dominance in order for the other altcoins, not only Ethereum, since Ethereum is leading right now, to consider basically more bullish scenario for the other altcoins, since right now the Bitcoin dominance is starting to recover after hitting that last weekly pivot support 3. You can see 59.8% basically, and price on the daily is starting to recover. So what I mentioned in my previous videos is I do not want this price right here, this drop, to be a fake out like it was back here and back here. Basically, we want to see a actual change of structure to the downside and not a continuation back into that macro trend, which is to the upside. So we first want to see the Bitcoin dominance start dropping once again in order for us to consider Solana and Sui to be bullish once again. But for right now, Ethereum is doing really well. So I suggest that excuse me. So I suggest that you focus on Ethereum for right now, since it is leading the market. For example, since Bitcoin is ranging right here at those highs, let me just remove that. Since Bitcoin is, as you can see, basically ranging right here, it did not drop more than 10% even. We got a 9% correction this move. So basically we are ranging the whole time that Bitcoin was in this range. It was pumping the whole time. You can see while Bitcoin was ranging, Ethereum was pumping. So this is something to keep in mind. Also, if we look at the Fear and Greed index, we are still in that neutral zone. Basically, we were the whole time in that neutral zone. So we want to see a move in the coming days or weeks. In my opinion, we are going to finally get a very big move for Bitcoin, since it has been consolidating. But as I said, it is also possible that we get this move first in September or actually in October when Q4 starts. Then I am expecting that parabolic move, since Q4 is basically very bullish quarter for all of the markets and mostly the crypto markets. I think Q4 tends to be the best. Also, longs versus shorts ratio on the major exchanges, you can see we do have on the major exchanges more buying pressure than sellers basically, which is also very nice. During the weekend it might be a fake move and we might dump once the market opens, but in my opinion this is going to be just to fill the CME gap which Bitcoin is currently created. You can see we closed at 160, 170k basically our CME future chart, and price is right now at 118.7. So basically this would suggest that we might go down, correct a little bit to that weekly pivot or the basically just where the price closed, which would be at around 116.9. basically 1.5% of a correction we might get, and then we might start running once again to the upside, which is going to be, in my opinion, a normal correction. Also for next week we do have some very important news for the market. We do have on Tuesday CPI data, we do have on Thursday PPI data, and on Friday we do have some more important data, US retail, US premium consumer sentiment, basically for the inflation and stuff. So we got 3 days of major price news. So market is going to be very volatile next week. and it's either going to be the final decision in this news that is going to send Bitcoin flying, or we are going to see a further correction down. Basically, this is what I am expecting for next week, and I hope you like this quick weekend update video, guys. Subscribe for the channel, follow me on X, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.